It all started in 2010 when, after a 10-year drought from Miriam's first runner-up finish in the 1999 Miss Universe, Venus Ra finished fourth runner-up. She may not have won the most coveted crown, but the entire Philippines, celebrated her victory. And during the finals night and the preliminary competition, she wore an Alfredo Barraza sparkling, or not really sparkling, but an aluminum gown. A lot of Filipinos are not really happy or satisfied with the gown. They feel like the Philippines could have been better represented by a Filipino designer. And there came 2011, another Filipina made it to the top 5, Shamsi Supsup, and eventually finished as third runner-up. This is the second consecutive year that our Filipina candidate wore an Alfredo Barraza gown and placed as a runner-up in the competition. In 2012, another Filipina made it to the top 5, Janine Togonan, and almost won the crown. She finished 2 notches higher than Shamsi. She finished as the first runner-up to Olivia Culpo. And again, our candidate wore another Alfredo Barraza creation. Filipinos were not happy with the gown's design, but Janine was able to work it out. She was able to prove that even if the gown is not that amazing, she was able to present it confidently. And so she finished first runner-up. In 2013, when Ariela Arida showed her evening gown in the preliminary competition, the yellow gown, a lot of Filipinos are again disappointed. We feel like, a Filipino designer could have done better than the plain, simple yellow gown. Madame Stella Araneta was bashed, and there was a strong clamor for a Filipino designer. But in the competition, Ariela made it to the top 5 and won as third runner-up. And so the Philippines has been penetrating the top 5 and placing as runner-up for 4 consecutive years, and all of our candidates were wearing a Barraza gown. In 2014, another Filipina contender wore a Barraza creation, Mary Jane Lastimosa, and this really started a revolution among the Filipino pageant fanatics with MJ's exclusion from the top 5. There was, an outcry for the Binibining Pilipinas organization to change the designer and use a Filipino designer instead. MJ failed to make it to the top 5, but 4 out of the 5 years we were runner-up, and it's like 80% probability of or chances of winning, and our candidates wore a Barraza creation. In 2015, finally, a Filipino designer was given a chance to dress our candidate. And yes, Albert Andrada created the famous blue gown of Pia Wurtzbach, who eventually won as Miss Universe 2015. The Filipinos were very happy with the result of the competition. We take pride with our Filipino designer. And so that probably made Binibining Pilipinas think that, yeah, why don't we give a chance to the Filipino designers? However, in 2016, Red Ayala created a gown for our representative, Maxine Medina, who failed to make it to the top 3. And then in just recently, Val Taguba, another Filipino designer, wore or created gown for Rachel Peters, who again failed to make it to the top five. So as you can see, in the last 3 years of Miss Universe, there was, should they say, a downgrade of the Filipinas placing in the competition. So it's like we only won like one out of the three, Pia. And so that's like 30% probability or chances. And yet we are using our own designers. But look at Colombia. They've been placing since 2014. 14, 15, 16, and 17. That's 4 consecutive years in the top three. And all gowns were created by Alfredo Barraza. Do you think it is his way of, revenging the Filipino people, proving that, he is far a better option than our Filipino designers? And with our Filipino candidates placing more by wearing Alfredo Barraza's gown than wearing Filipino gowns or Filipino designer gowns, do you think that Barraza is our lucky charm? Do you think that the Barraza effect is actually a realization to all of us that Barraza is still the best designer for our candidates? If you disagree, agree, or if you think that Barraza is our lucky charm, please feel free to share your thoughts, comments, like, and subscribe. Thank you.